I'm going to be 56 this month, and I have changed so many things about how I talk to myself, how I look at myself and view myself and think about myself, and therefore how I apply my makeup and take care of myself. And I want to share a lot of that with you. But while I'm doing that, I'm just going to explain the things that I'm doing with my makeup. First and foremost, skincare. It's never too late. I didn't start taking care of my skin till my 50s. I had a broken skin barrier and I had to do a lot to repair it. So if you have questions about skincare, what I use is a K-Beauty brand of skincare because they've been doing skincare for a really, really long time and they've been doing it right. I repaired my skin barrier and you're like, what? How do I know if I have a messed up skin barrier? You have building blocks on your face that helps things to get in. If you have redness, dryness, really super sensitive skin, you've likely messed up your skin barrier. I mean, it happens, right? It can be skincare that we've used. It can be sunburns. It can be so many different things. So if you have any questions about that, hey, yeah, thank you. I love this. I bought it and wasn't going to keep it, and I decided to keep it. I love this Kelly green, is that what they call it, is so pretty. So if you have questions about the skincare or if you want to take my skincare quiz, you can comment K-Beauty. It's the letter K and then the word beauty. You can take my skincare quiz and I can help you. But I'm going to also, I want to talk to you about how you talk to yourself. And you're like, oh my gosh, get to the makeup. Hear me out. I get a lot of pictures from a lot of women to get a color match. I color match you to the makeup that I use. And I will hear from them, I look so terrible. Oh my gosh, whatever, insert what you say to yourself. And I get it. I still struggle with this, but I want you to try really hard to be thankful for where you're at and not compare yourself and not focus on all the negatives that we got going on and try to start focusing on the positives because you have them. Okay. You know what? It's harder. She's saying that it's hard. And it really, truly is. And we know then as 50, 60, 70-year-old women, it's not going to get any better. But what is going to get better is how we view ourselves and how we talk to ourselves. Are you ever around someone that they're just a naturally positive, not toxic positive, but they're a positive person. And you walk away learning something from them. And I have someone like that in my life. And she really helped me change the way I thought about so many different things. So I work out. I worked out for years for the body. Okay. Now I work out for my 60 and 70 and 80-year-old body. I work out for my grandkids. I work out for my kids. I work out to be the best that I can be, not to look a certain way. So those are things that we really need to talk nicer to ourselves about. So when I look at myself, I can tell you everything wrong with my face right now, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is, 65. You were 65 on Sunday. Happy birthday. That's an achievement, right? Right there. So we're going to do our makeup and we're going to feel good about it. Okay. So the first thing as a mature lady is you got to use your good skincare. Before I was on here, I stuck this balm underneath my eye. It really helps me to get from getting creasing and apply my under eyes. I never thought were dry. They are. So I always, if I forget it, I'll even put my makeup on and dab that on over it because it really is so helpful. I didn't realize my under eyes were dry, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use less makeup. Okay. And you're not going to sacrifice your look at all. And I'm going to show you that right now. Okay. We would put makeup on from here up to our hairline, straight down. We would get full coverage, whether we needed it or not. Let's admit it. If we had that 8th grade, even 25-year-old skin again, would we wear makeup like that? Heck to the no. So now that we're older and we may have some things going on, we're going to be very strategic about how we apply our makeup. We're going to apply it only where we need it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you want to match to this, okay, this is going to be my foundation, but I'm going to use 2 different systems here. Don't get confused by these because I love them and I love them both a lot, or I wouldn't even bring them to you. Like I was thinking the other day, I would never use something on my face just to use it to sell it. because I'm using it on my face. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not how I roll. I love this. So if you want a match to this cushion, you can say cushion on this live video and you will get a link to it. So this is a cushion and it has skincare in it. And I'm going to apply it only where I need it. And you're like, but where do I need it? Where you need it is what on your face, skin tone wise, does it need applied? And almost every picture of you guys that I get is we need it here, on our nose, on our chin, and maybe a little bit on our forehead. It's almost like a cross where we have a little bit of pink and we have more things from the sun going on. So this is almost out, so I'm gonna really have to dig in. I'm gonna take this Pilot brush and I'm just gonna start tapping it. Now see that redness? It just starts eliminating it. So it looks like skin, and that's what I want it to look like. When I'm done, I wanna look like skin a little bit improved. Does that make sense? I want it to be radiant. I want it to look like fresh skin, okay? That younger skin. I want it to have a little bit of a radiance to it. And I have a zit. Postmenopausal by 10 years. I have a zit. Why? It's fine. There could be worse things in life, right? Okay, so there we go. And that is going to be my foundation. That's it. Like, that is all. I don't have any right here, and I have hardly any on my forehead. I don't need it. So you can wear less makeup. It'll help your skin to look better. It's going to elevate it, and you just covered up some things, and then that's it. I am going to do my under eyes, but we're going to hang on that. So I'm going to take this cushion here, and I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to open my Saint palette. This is a cream makeup. It's customizable. This is what I found as a 50-year-old. Fell in love with it. Fell in love with this. It is amazing because you can buy only what you want. It's so easy to customize and so easy to put on. And it gives you a beautiful look. And we're going to take this brush and we're going to tap it into my bronzer. So I always do foundation and then I do bronzer. So bronzer is intended to give you dimension. A little bit of dimension, and it can help you to get a sun-kissed look. So see how that dimension right there, like it's so fast, right to my forehead. And then I'm going to add a little bit here on my cheekbones because that's where the sun hits you. And see how this is already starting to just make everything flow. And I look a little bit more put together, a little bit more awake, a little bit more alive. I'm not all one color. So we're going to take the bronzer like so. And it's almost like right where you put your blush, but you can just be a little bit more willy-nilly with it. And I'm going to put a little bit here on my nose, just because the sun does hit me and there on the nose. And then you see this white patch. I like to stick bronzer there. Not everybody has that. I don't even know why I do. I just do. Okay, so we've got the bronzer on, and now we're starting to look a little bit more alive, a little bit more sun-kissed. It can blend in redness. It can blend in melasma. You just need to be strategic where you're putting it. Okay, so I am going to now take a pencil. You guys can message me after. I can't, if you ask me anything here, I can talk to you, but after this video, the comments disappear. I'm going to take a satin pencil. It's a new Saint thing. It's so fun. It's so good. And these are blendable. I'm going to use them on my lips too, but I'm going to take the color Brownie. Make sure I have the right color. And I'm only going to use a satin, not a silk. And I'm going to contour. Contour can be hard. It can be challenging. I feel like bronzer gives you a really great dimension. But if you have a hard time contouring, you get to draw it on with a pencil. Okay, these are, like I said, they're very blendable. And I'm going to draw it right here from the corner of my eye, right here, up to the top of my ear. And I'm just going to go like this. We're not going to worry about it. Just guess high. But you're not going to bring it too far forward because so many of us have these jowls and it sinks in and we don't want darkness there, okay? We're going to take that. I'm going to take a little bit on my forehead right here. When I had bangs, I really didn't worry about it because you couldn't see. So that was the color Brownie. And then I like taking this. Well, here, let's draw on my nose too. Okay, that was Brownie. And then I'm going to take, not pepper. Oh yeah, maybe I'll take pepper. Nope, I'm going to take toffee. I'm going to take toffee and I'm going to contour my nose. Okay, contouring your nose is right here. You want to bring those lines close together and you get to draw it on with a pencil. Okay, I put a little bit here, and then I'm going to go right there. Not very much. I don't like a lot of contour on my nose. But you're going to bring those dark lines as close together as you can. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit here on my nose. All right, that was Toffee. The first one was Brownie. And then I like taking this detail brush. Hi, guys. Oh, my gosh. Your name, Rosie. You're a fun person, aren't you? Okay, and then we're going to take this contour and we're just going to blend it up. That's what we're going to do. So the pencils, if you're new to contouring, I feel like these pencils are amazing because you can just take them, you can draw them on, and then you're like, it's like, that's where it goes. And then we're going to take it, like, see how blendable it is? They're so blendable. But thing is, the satins, we have silks and satins. Silks, you put them on, they stay put. The satins are more blendable. But I've put the satin as an eyeliner, and it does not go on my hooded eye. Isn't that amazing? Okay, we're going to take this right here, and we're blending them out just a little bit. Okay, you can even take your finger and just blend that out. I'm going to do my lips here in a little bit too. So see how amazing and easy that was? And it's so nice because with that pencil, it glides. If you make a mistake, it's not a big deal. Oh, I got it too low. Great. Take your brush, go like that, wipe it off, and you're good to go. That is the beauty of a cream makeup. You can just do that. You can just wipe it off. Okay, so now we're going to go to my under eyes. My under eyes are not very dark, but a lot of you have dark. So if you have dark under eyes, if you can hear me right now, my number one rule as an older lady is, you see what I got going on in those under eyes? If I put a light color there, it's going to completely accent every single wrinkle I have. So we don't ever want light on the under eyes. I have older ladies who are like, what? I thought that was my concealer. Well, it used to be until you had these wrinkles. And then now it's not your concealer anymore. Your concealer, you need to color correct your under eye darkness. Usually it's like an orangey or a peachy color. I like to use Frenchie. And then if you don't really have much blue, you don't really have a lot of darkness, and you don't really need to color correct, then what you need is a dark concealer, not light. You have darkness on your under eye. If you put light on it, it's going to be gray, and it's going to accent your wrinkles. And that's the complete opposite of what you want to happen. So I'm going to take this Pilot brush right here apart. It's so good. There's 4 brushes in one. I think it's only $45. This is the best brush ever that Saint has ever come out with. And I'm going to take a darker shade than what my face even is, just a little bit. And I'm just going to fill in here my purple and my blue on top of it. And then I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. You can even add a little bit of bronzer to your under eye and deepen it around the darkness to help conceal it. So we're concealing under eye darkness with a dark concealer, the least amount as possible. Okay. And then you can always do this with your fingers because you don't want to get too much, because what happens on under eyes? We have wrinkles and then we smile and you're squishing it, and you don't want it to be squished and show texture. We want the opposite of that. Okay, so under eyes are done. Next, we're going to go to blush and brightening. I call it reverse. Let me do my lips. I can't stand this. Okay, let's do... Do you guys have any requests? Anyone here been eyeballing any? So I'm going to use a satin on my lips, which is what I use for my bronzer and my contour. Or my only contour, not my bronzer. I've been using a lot of Mulberry and Coco Mero on repeat. I did use the other day Plum with a color, and it was so pretty. Dulce. Anyone have any requests? Okay, let me just grab one. What is this one? Well, let's use Toffee, because let's say you buy it to do a little bit of contour. Let's see what it looks like. I don't even know. I've never used this on my lips. Okay. Pretty. Okay, when you're older, don't line on the outer part of your lip right here, because you're already dark, because you're frowning. It just happens naturally. So I don't overline my lips because I can't. And I have a lot of wrinkles. So let's fill this in a little bit. This is the same color I used on my nose. And let's blend it in. Now I've kind of got some pinky purpley shades going on. So even though that's toffee and has a little bit of that brownish, I think I'm going to bring the pink out. And I think I'm going to either use Coco Mero or I'm going to use this color. This is called, I always forget the name of it, Sugar Plum. Let's use Sugar Plum because I've used Coco Mero a lot just to demonstrate it. Let's use this over top. And these are our new gelatos. That's pretty. That blended together, because look, see how it kind of browned it out a little bit? That is super pretty. So that was Sugar Plum, and on my lips I put toffee. Well, that was kind of a nice surprise. All right, so I'm going to take this blush. It's a cream blush, and we're going to put it high on the cheeks. I forget that this one's kind of dark. That was kind of a lot, but that's okay. And I'm going to take my Pilot brush, put it back together, and we're just going to tap, and we're going to go high. Always high. Think high, okay? So we're on top of the cheekbone. I don't feel like ever in my life I thought anyone would have to teach me to put blush on. But I'm telling you, we need taught. Because what we did before wasn't high. It is a pretty color. It's called Haze. Or if that's what you're talking about, or my lips. But this blush color is called Haze. I feel like we smiled. I don't know why we were taught this. We smiled. We put it on our cheeks. And then we would just do whatever. And then it was on the apple of the cheek. Well, the apple has fallen from the tree. So now we're going to go high like so. And then we're going to bring it just forward just a little bit on that apple. So we're going to go forward just a little bit. So see how that just is like, it's a really nice flushing of the cheeks. Hey, Kimberly. Is it Kimberly? Yes, Kimberly. You can get it through me. DM me. Will you message me? This is Saint Customizable Cream Compact. And the first thing I used was a cushion. You can get a match to that if you just comment cushion. But if you're talking about these products, these are new. Aren't they so good? Just message me and I'll give you my link. But let me help you on any of the colors. If you're like, I like this, this, and this, then I can help you. All right. So I am going to, and do you know how to DM me? I know that's like, what is a DM? A DM is a direct message. Just go to my name and then message me. Okay. So we're going to reverse contour. And what that means is you're going to brighten, but brighten always was this, like, right? This triangle that we always did right there. Well, that's just take that right out of your brain because as an older lady, we can't do that anymore. So we're going to lift the outer part of my eye because my eye's going down. So I'm going to take a lighter color and I'm going to go like that and see how that just lifted. See how that looks dark and see how that just looked lifted. It's a huge difference. But we got to be careful because I know if we have smile lines out there, light can accent it. Be careful if you may have to go a little bit darker to clean up eyeshadow and to create lift. And then we're going to go underneath that contour line that I just did. Oh, hi, look. I'm like, why is that hair on there? It's a little bit of contour I didn't blend in. Okay, so we're going to go under the contour line. We're going to carve out the cheek. That's what you're doing. So if you're like, I don't really know my placement, take it underneath like that and see how that just carved out my cheek. So like I said, if you got a little willy-nilly on the contour and you're like, oh no, it's fine. Cream makeup, it's super forgiving. Now I've got a jowl and I have a sinking in area right there. That one's just, put a little bit right there. It's okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the inner corner of my eye. And then I'm going to put just a tiny bit right in here. I got a lot going on. I have this sinking in. I have another line here. I don't even know who gets that. Like, who gets this? And then it splits into it's fine. And then I have a deep set right here. So I have to be really careful. So I'm going to take this brush because light will lift, but it'll also draw attention to. And I don't want to draw attention to those areas. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Create some lift. And then I'm going to simply take that, mix it a little bit with my main shade. And then we're going to carve out this front area right here. Again, creating lift. Remember that little spot right there. And we're just carving out the cheekbone a little bit. So good. Now, on top of the cheek, we want to lift. So I'm going to flip this brush over And I'm going to put a little bit here in this. So sometimes when I'm recording, you guys can see. I'm going to put where I'm caving in a little bit of a light color, because remember it lifts. Light lifts. This is a shadow. It's not darkness, or it's not like discoloration in my skin. It's just a shadow. So if I put light in there, it's going to lift up. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to gently tap it with my finger or my brush. But I'm going to avoid my under eye bag or any under eye, because that's too light and it'll accent my texture. So oftentimes when I do that, you can tell a difference from the other side. Can we tell? It's just so good. I love using brightener. So this eye's lifted. See how this one's not? And then I'm going to take this right here and lift it up. Contour line. Inner part of the eye. Above the jowl. And now we're just going to blend them in. Well, let's just do this. And then I'm going to take a little bit right here. Okay. And now we're just going to blend them all in. What's your problem? Okay, Kimberly, tell me what your problem is. All right, I'm going to blend this down just a little bit, staying out of my under eye. Same thing here. Don't get any on your eye bag. Blend it up here. Your temple's sinking in too. Isn't that neat? Who knew? Okay, and then now we're going to do this, and then we're going to carve everything out. That takes a little bit of practice. Everything that I'm doing, don't just be like, oh, I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, it's fine. And especially if you're using like a cream makeup, it makes it so nice, because I can just, oh, I made a mistake. Oh, here, let me add a little bit of my dark. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy. You don't need to worry about it being a problem. And then I'm going to put a little, I forgot, above my peak of my brow. This one doesn't matter, but we'll do it just so they match. And above the peak of the brow. So it's just going to create a little bit of lift up there. Yeah, your eyes are falling in. So it's a really hard thing, the sinking in, and then oftentimes it creates a bag above it. So when they're sinking in, you can add a little bit of light. I mean, it's not surgery, but it's just a little bit something that you can do to deflect away from the shadow. And that's all we're trying to do, is deflect away from the shadow. And then what you do is you're going to emphasize the areas that you can control. You can do the blush high. You can create lift in those areas that I just told you. You can use minimal makeup. You cannot put light on the under eyes. You see what I'm saying? That's all that part is, that shift of don't stop focusing on the negative and flip it to what you can do, if that makes sense. I plugged my phone in and now I see that it's not charging. There it goes. Why do cords do that? You plug it in one way and then you flip it and it does fine. Okay, so I'm going to put on just a tiny, tiny bit of powder. And then I'm going to put on a setting spray. So my powder's right here in my palette with all the rest of my powders, my eyeshadows. So I'm actually going to use a different brush. I could use this brush, the Pilot. Well, all right, I'll just use it. Okay, so I'm going to tap in, and this is what I'm not going to do, okay? That right there will make you look textured. We can't do that anymore as mature ladies. So what we're going to do is you're going to put the most minimal on, and you're going to kind of build up. So take your powder. This is obviously needs replaced as a hole in the middle. This is Vanilla Dust. It's my favorite. It does the best at my oil control in my T-zone, and it helps just kind of get everything set in place. But we have a feather blotting powder. It's honestly super, super, super gorgeous. It has silicone in it, and it just blots out those pores and stuff. But I feel like within my T-zone, it's just not a good fit for me. Okay. All right, so that was my powdered out. Now, I love using this Rimmon Set and Stay spray. Okay, I've been playing with setting sprays. And I'm disappointed. I'm not going to show you which one it was, but I had a setting spray that I was so sure was going to be the setting spray for everyone. It's not Saint and it's not Rimmon. It's a different brand. You would have heard of it. And I'm just mad because I used it and used it and used it, and I did not get the results that I want. So I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing. And I do 3 squirts of this. It says skincare in it, which is amazing. And maybe 4. Okay. It says skincare in it. So I love that. It helps my face to look very radiant. I want to look radiant. You know, young skin, if you look at your grandkids' face, their skin, it's radiant. Unless they're a teenager and then it might be oily. We're talking younger skin. They just have that radiant glow. I know a lot of teenage girls and boys have very radiant skin. But this helps my skin to look very radiant. It helps my makeup to stay. I don't have a lot of problems with longevity. But then I top it with another setting spray. This is the dumbest thing. They changed this one. It's a new formula. So I need to order the new one. It's Urban Decay All Nighter. I get the best look when I use my Rimmon, and then I do 2 sets of that, 2 spritz of that, and I just get the best look. I love the way my skin looks and feels, and I just do, but it's silly pants to use too. This one works really great. Sometimes if I'm feeling oily, I don't feel like it mats me out enough. That's not the right word. I feel like I feel oily and it's not doing what I want it to. So then the Urban Decay All Nighter does it. Yeah, you know what? Did you know they changed the formula? So I don't know the story. Go look it up. I'll tell it and I'll tell it wrong. But there's a particular ingredient in here that someone else had the rights to or something. And they had to take it out and substitute something in. And I agree with you. This was my go-to for people that were oily. And I'm like, put it on before you do your makeup. Like a setting or like a primer. And then put it on after. And anyway, that's still the old formula. So, hey, you. All right. I am going to go. I am all done. I'm so glad you guys were here, and I appreciate you all so much. And let's take skincare and makeup completely out of this conversation. If I can just help you talk nicer to yourself. I never talked nice to myself before. And it's one of the biggest things that my friend helped me with is just flipping things. Let's not focus on everything that's wrong. Let's focus on the things that are right. Okay? That's what we're going to do. Oh, yeah. You have dry skin? Thank you, Kimberly. Which thing? So this is amazing for dry skin and combination, honestly. The Urban Decay, I would not use if I had dry skin. No, I would use the Rimmon before that one. The Urban Decay, I mean, I feel like I always used it more as combination and oily is what the All Nighter. Maybe it would be okay, but that is my humble opinion. You could always try it. I think they have little skinny ones that you can buy too. So, all right, guys, thanks for being here.